So we are going to do 5 different problems. The first problem is going to be email validation. And the second problem is going to be a password validation. That means you're going to check whether we might have seen it, right? The password should have uppercase, lowercase, special character, number. So how to give those restrictions using regular expression, that you will learn in problem number 2. In problem number 1, you're going to do the validation on whether the given email address have the email format, like with @ dot, all those stuff, whether it has that format. That we will verify in problem 1. And then in problem 3, we are going to validate date. That too, I kept it simple. We are just going to validate the given format. That is the given date should have 4 digits of year, 2 digits of month, and 2 digits of date, and 2 with the same format with hyphen. So I kept it simple. So validate the date. That is going to be your third problem. And the fourth problem, we are going to validate phone number. Okay. So for this validation, we are just going to explore more possibilities. Like it doesn't need to be like in this format, like date. We are just going to explore the multiple options to represent a phone number. It could be this or with hyphen or with dot. There are multiple ways to represent a phone number, right? So we are going to see what are the possible ways that we can validate whether the given number is a phone number or not. That is about problem number 4. And in problem number 5, you are going to validate IP address. So we are going to read a file and we are going to extract the IP addresses alone from that file. Okay. So do you guys have mbox.txt file? If you have it, please download it, because we are going to use that file to do this 5th problem in filtering out the URLs alone from the given file. So we are going to do 5 different problems. In all 5 problems, we are going to do multiple validation and extraction, all kind of stuff. Okay, so using regular expression. So let's get it started. Let's start with the first problem. If you read the first problem, we are going to get the input from the user, and then we are going to create a regular expression that in 2 different. One is a very simple regular expression that it is going to check whether the given email address has @ symbol in it or it doesn't have @ symbol in it. Very simple. If it has @ symbol, then it is simply going to say that it is email. It is a valid email, which is not true. The valid email should have some other restrictions, like the first port and then @ and the second port and dot and then some top level domain name. That is how the actual email address should be. So that is a strict formatting. So we are going to do a loose formatting first, and then we are going to do strict formatting, strict validation using the second regular expression. We are going to do both. So let's start writing the problem. Okay, so create a Jupyter notebook file. You can simply do all these problems in single Jupyter notebook file. Yes. So before using regular expression, because in Python, it doesn't come with the Python, we have to do it by importing a separate library to do the regular expression, right? So for that, we're going to use the library called RE, where it has all the methods and meta characters available to do the regular expression. So import the RE library to perform this operation. And then as I told you, we're going to do it in 2 different patterns. One pattern is very simple, easygoing, just going to see that whether it has @ symbol or it doesn't have. So that is the first expression, that we can create a variable to say that regular expression, then we can validate it against this. And then next we are going to create the next regular expression where it is going to be a little bit strict, saying that I want a proper email format. I will not just accept if it has @ in it. Okay, so that is the second regular expression. So first, let's create the first regular expression, which is just going to check whether it has @ in it or not. How can you create that? So it is going to be string, right? We know that regular expression, we will validate. What is, if you look at the syntax will be, what is the syntax? If you look at the syntax is RE dot, that is library. And we are going to use the method called search method. And then you have to give the regular expression, okay? Regular expression. And then you have to give the input. You have to give the input. So this is the syntax. Library, search method, what pattern matching regular expression is the first, and the input is the second. So this is the syntax. I'm just explaining the syntax here. I'm going to change it later. First, the regular expression, that is a pattern that we want to match for the simple formatting, right? Simple, it is just going to look whether it has at or not. So if you recall your lecture, you can see the symbol. So please take notes, take your notes or take that PDF what I have shared, where you can see the meaning of each meta character. So if you verify, you can see the backslash yes, that is the uppercase yes. What is the meaning of that? Matches a non-space character. We need this because this simple validation, it is going to see at least that should be a non-white space, because in email, white space is not allowed. So it is just going to check whether it has non-white space. So it is not, it just checks the email, whether it has something before that or after it. We know that the space is does it allow the space in email? It does not allow the space. So the white space is not allowed in email, whether it is before the at or after that. So at least we are going to insist that part. So you can see, to insist that part, we have to use backslash uppercase yes. Backslash uppercase yes. And this is the case for any, it doesn't have one day. So if you just specify one time, then it will just verify whether that the space is there or not, only one time. But we want to verify it multiple times until that full input. For the whole input, we are going to verify whether that has the empty space before and after the at. So for that, we have to give plus symbol. And then we are going to see at. So whether that input has at in it. So just say at. So here, what the meaning of this is, before that symbol, that should be some input with characters, but that character should not have white space. That is the meaning of this. And also, even after that, there should not be any character. How to say that? It is same. So even after the at symbol, we don't want any character. Not only once. For the whole input, we want to verify. So to do that, we have to give plus symbol. Means the validation will be done many times. The plus always indicates one or more occurrence. Okay, one or more occurrence. So it is going to verify the non-empty space should be there, should not be there. For this will be repeated. This check will be repeated. That is the simple meaning. So this is the simple, very easy validation. Next, we are going to implement a strict validation. So what is that strict validation? So it is going to have multiple port. It is going to see whether it has. So it should be like this. The input, if the input should be like this. Let me first write the input. The email, the input should be like, it should not have non-white space. Don't type it. I'm just giving you the example. Non-white space, at symbol, and then domain name, and then top level domain name. So it should be like this, right? So this is how, maybe I will give you the full address. Okay. So this is the proper email address. This proper email address should not have white space, should not have any dot or anything before that, and it should not have any at before that. So there are a lot of restrictions. We are going to implement all this restriction. So first it is going to check that start with the character which is not at space. That means Empty space is not allowed in email address. And then also at is not allowed in the email address. We are going to insist do these two things. So if you verify starting of the email address matching at the beginning of the line, that is done by @ symbol. So include that @ symbol first. @ symbol means it is going to verify the starting of the regular expression matching at the beginning of the line, that we are verifying first. Are going to verify is this parenthesis. If you verify what is the meaning of this parenthesis, parenthesis means check for any character, any single character in the character that is specified in this. So whatever pattern we want to verify, we have to give it inside this parenthesis. So inside this parenthesis, what we are going to give here inside the parenthesis, if you use this cap symbol, that means not. So you should not have at the starting of the email address, and also it should not have empty space. So if you're not using parentheses, then you can simply use this symbol to say non-empty space. But in case if you are using parentheses, the representation is going to be different because, again, read it. Check for any single character in the character set specified in. So whatever you specify inside this parenthesis, that each and every character will be checked here. So here inside this, we are saying should not have @ it should not have empty space. It should not have empty space. These two things will be verified. And inside this parenthesis, if you give caret symbol, that means should not have. It should not have. Okay, so that is done. Next, we are going to give plus, that is after the parenthesis. The plus symbol, we know what is the meaning of plus symbol. Plus symbol always indicates that one or more occurrence of the previous character. So that means don't check it only once, check it multiple times, check it multiple times. That is the meaning. That is the meaning of plus symbol. Okay, so one part is done. So we have to look for the second part. What is the second restriction, that pattern that we want to check? We are going to see there should be one @ symbol, and after that, there is no @ symbol and no space and no dot. That means we are going to verify there is one @ symbol. This @ symbol we are going to verify. Okay, so to specify that, we have to give @ symbol. We are going to verify @ symbol. And after that we should not have any @ or space. How can we say that? Just now inside the parenthesis, if you have caret symbol, that is, it will just do the opposite. That means it will check whether the given character is not there. So here our focus in the second pattern is just @. So that we have given here. That means it will pattern, it will do look for @, but it should also look after this @, there should not be any more @. That should be only one @ in the email, right? So we are saying this, and also there should not be any space. If you give space, then it means there should not be any space. Also, this should be done multiple times. For that, we have to give plus. Always plus indicates one or more occurrence of the previous character. So here the previous character is this. Okay, so we are done with the second part. So now we are going to focus in the third part. The first part is done, no restriction, only it should see whether it doesn't have @ or empty space. We are done with the second restriction. That means it should have only one @ after that, no @ or no nothing. So that we have given here. And we are going to verify the third part. What is the third part? It can have anything. It should not have @ after that, because once the @ is present, if you see one more @ after that, then it means that it is invalid email address. So we are going to verify it should not have any @, it should not have any space, and it should not have 2 dots. It should have only 1 dot. So it is going to see whether it has a dot. Without dot after that, it's not an email address. So for saying, to say that, we are saying dot. Dot. We are looking for dot. and sign. Inside this parenthesis, as usual, we are going to use the caret symbol to see the opposite. That means it should not be there. What should not be there? There should not be two ads, and that should not be empty space, given empty space, and that should not be dot, because that should not be. Here we are verifying whether it has dot. We are verifying it with this, but we should also verify it should not have one more dot, because only one dot should be there in that. So that we are verifying with this caret symbol. Okay, and after that, we are going to say after this dot, that should be a top level domain name. If you see the top level domain name, have you seen top level domain name with one character? No, right? At least that should be two characters. Dot in like that, that should be at least two characters. So we are going to say that after this, only two characters are allowed, or not two, but at least two characters should be allowed. For saying that, you have to use this curly brace. Go again and verify what is the meaning of curly brace. Curly brace means repeating the preceding character with the given number of times. That is the meaning of this curly brace. Curly brace means where curly brace added to the regular expression, that means that there must be at least m repetition of n preceding, and at most n repetitions, where m and n can be omitted. Okay, and so we are going to represent the count. Okay, count. So two counts, and then that is the end. After that, that should not be anything else. That is the end of the pattern matching. So this caret symbol, start of the pattern matching, and this dollar symbol, end of the pattern matching. You can see that here. Match beginning line, and dollar symbol match at the end of the line. So you can see this is a actual pattern matching to validate an email address. So if an email address has something like this, then it will verify. It cannot verify whether the email address exists or not. That cannot be done, right? That is not possible to, we can do it without database. But we are verifying whether it has the proper formatting of the email address, okay, using regular expression. Now we have written the regular expression. Now we have to write and code to get an input. So we know that the input function will get the input from the user. We have to prompt the user to give the input. So we are saying that in the prompt, enter an email address to validate. Enter an email address to validate. And we are going to have two results. Result 1 is going to be the validation against the regular expression 1. And the second one is going to be the validation against the regular expression 2. That is the syntax. We know the syntax. RE dot search is the method that we are using from the RE library. Then result 2 equal to RE dot search regular expression 2, and the input is going to be email. Okay, so we are going to get two results. One is validation against regular expression 1, and the second one is the validation against regular expression 2. And we are saving these two results in two variables, result 1 and result 2. And then now we have to do the result, printing the result. How can we do that? So we are going to say, if not result 1 and not result 2, we're going to use the and not operators to display the output. Okay, that means if both of the regular expression, if the given input fails both of the regular expression, then what we have to say, does not match with both regular expression patterns. It doesn't satisfy both of the regular expressions. If not, we're going to use the else if concept. We know else if, and if it satisfies both, in case if it satisfies both, obviously if it satisfies result regular expression 2, obviously it will satisfy result 1 as well. But some case we are going to give, if it satisfies both, then we are going to say print successfully match with both regular expressions. We are doing the validation against both patterns and both of it passed. And then what if one passed and one doesn't pass? So for that, if it passes only the first one, then we are going to say the given input matches with only one, right? So only the regular expression 1 says the email is valid. And then we're going to say result 2 print only the regular expression 2 says the email is valid. Okay, now we're going to say the first one. Okay, so I'm just going to give some wrong email address saying that mvimal and then at edu. Still, the regular expression 1 says it is proper email, because according to that, if it has yet, then it will immediately accept that as an email address. So only regular expression 1 says it is proper email. So it is properly validating it. Now I'm going to give mvimal underscore space at and then dot without that. So you can see, since I have given space before and after, because the only restriction that we give with the regular expression 1 is it should not have empty space and before and after. So here you can see there, I purposely did the space. So it says that it does not match with any regular expression. Now let's give proper email address. It says successfully matched with both regular expression pattern. Okay, so problem 1 on validating it against the email address is done. Okay, so if you're done, I'm going to move on to the next problem. So the next problem is check that a password is at least 8 character long. So number of character, we are verifying it, number of character. And then we are going to say whether the given input has lowercase. And then we are going to say whether the given input has uppercase. And then we are going to say whether it has number. And then we are going to say whether it has a special character. Okay, so we are going to say, check all these 4 things. Number of input, and then lowercase, uppercase, special character, digits. Okay, so all these things we are going to verify. It should have. Then only it is a proper password that we are going to send this. Okay, so let's first, we have to create multiple regular expression because we are creating multiple check, right? So we are going to create multiple regular expressions. So first, as usual, import our e-library for this problem number 2. So import our e-library. Okay, so first we're going to say lower check, lowercase check, lower regular expression. We're going to say lower means lowercase, right? A to Z. Again, I want you to verify this. What is the meaning of this A? If you give anything inside this parenthesis, it will check for the particular character. That is the meaning of parenthesis, right? If you check for the particular character, we are going to check it has a lowercase. Whether it has the lowercase. And then we're going to check whether it has uppercase. Up regular expression. Uppercase A to Z. So you know why I give plus? Because we know that plus always indicates, it will check for, indicates one or more occurrences of the previous given character. That means more than one lowercase is allowed. More than one uppercase is allowed. Repeat this check multiple times. That is the meaning of this plus symbol. Always remember that plus means multiple occurrences. So more than one uppercase is allowed. That is the meaning of that. And then we are going to check whether it has a digit in it. So you can check it in multiple ways. One way to check it is if you refer that list, you can either say the lowercase d matches any decimal digit, or you can say 0 to 9. You can do it in either way. So I'm going to check number regular expression. Okay, and how to say the number 0-9. And also again, like again, we are saying that it can be done. Multiple numbers are allowed. For saying that, we have to give plus symbol. And then special character, special regular expression. Okay, so here special character, it should have at least one special character, right? How can we say that? How can we say because we cannot all those list here saying that dot, so we have a huge number of special character. How can we say that? It is not possible to say all the special characters. Instead of that, how can we do that? We know that that symbol will help us to say which is not. So let's say at symbol, and we're going to say no lowercase and no uppercase and no digit. If it is not lowercase, if it is not uppercase, if it is not digit, obviously what it is going to be? It is going to be a special character. So easily we can say, because we cannot give all the list of special character here. That is huge. So instead of saying that, we are saying that lowercase, no uppercase, no digit. That means that should be a special character. So we are matching this pattern in 4 different patterns, with 4 different patterns. We are going to get the input by prompting the user to enter the input. We are saying that enter a password. At least one uppercase, one lowercase, one digit, and one special character. We are prompting the user to get the input. Now, how can we do the validation against that? We are going to do multiple check, because we are not only going to say that it is not valid password, we are also going to say what is missing. What is missing in the password? We are going to do both. So for that, we are going to say length result, a variable to check whether it has 8 number of character. That is that variable, that is yes or no. It's going to be, we know the len method that comes with the Python can check the number of character. We know that method. So we are going to pass the method. We are going to pass the password to that method to see whether that given input has more than 8 characters. Even 8 characters are allowed, right? That's why we are saying that more than or equal to 8 characters. That is going to verify whether the password has 8 characters. And then to check whether it has the lower case, we are saving the result in low result variable. Here we are going to say re dot search. Re dot search. Lower reg x. And then upper result is going to be there in upper result. Re dot search. We're going to validate it against this one, upper regular expression. So give that first parameter is going to be the pattern that we want to match, and the second parameter is going to be the input. That is the syntax. And next, we are going to validate it against the digits. So for that, we're going to say num result. Num result re dot search method. And we're going to validate against this number regular expression. That is the first parameter. And then the second parameter is going to be the input, which is password. And then we're going to do the special result, special character result. That is going to verify it against this special regular expression. And then the input. We are holding all the results. We are going to hold all the result in this variable. Okay. So it is going to do, and the result will be saved here as a Boolean value. Yes or no? Yes or no? That will be saved here. Okay. Now we are going to first verify all these things should be done. The password should satisfy all this. All this results should say yes, 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 yes. Then only the password is matched, right? So we're going to say all this variable. If length result, okay, and low result, and upper result and number result and special result. Okay, we are going to say verify everything. If all these things, since we say and if one is pass, one is fail, then it will say it is not a password. It's a valid password. So we are going to verify it for all these things. That's why we use and. So if everything is true, then it is going to say the password successfully passed all the checks. If not, we are going to give them an idea what is wrong. Then only they can correct. So yes, we are going to say first it is anyway it doesn't match, right? Anyway it fails. So first we're going to say password failed the following checks. So we are going to say which one is missing. Password miss the following checks. How we are going to say first, if not, length result is false. If the length result is 0, that means the Boolean value of the length result is 0, then it fails that. That means the given input does not have at least 8 characters. So we are going to say must be at least 8 characters. That one is missing. We are saying that. If not, lower result. Print, we're going to say must contain a lower uppercase character. And then if not, upper result. And contain an uppercase character. If not, num result, it should say must contain a number. If it does not have a special result, if not special result, then it should say must contain at least one special error. Okay, so it has we are just verifying, say whether it has the valid address or not, valid password or not, and also we are going to say what is missing if it is not valid. So that is what we are doing with this number of if cases. So if you give the password, and if I'm giving a correct password, like saying that A, B, C, 1, 2, 3 at. It says it has lower result is not defined. Low result, sorry. So there is no variable called lower result. Okay, but also the first one valid is failed because it does not have as 8 characters. So we're the first one checked. So it says that it must be at least 8 character. Now I'm going to give without valid, without a lowercase. So you can see now it says it should have at least one lowercase. I will do one more verification. I'm going to add uppercase and lowercase and digits, but I'm not including a special character. Now it says at least one special character should be there. It verify everything. I'm going to do the last check. I'm going to say uppercase, lowercase, digits, and special character. So now it says password successfully match all the check, pass all the check. So this is how we can do the pattern matching for password. We are creating multiple pattern matching and we are verifying it everything against this with search method and save the result and see in a variable, and we are just checking the variable, that Boolean variable, to say what is missing. So this is the second problem. And the third problem that we are going to see is whether the given input validate date format. So that date format, there are multiple date formats. We can do complex matching, but I want to keep it simple. But I'm going to check whether it has 4 years hyphen 2 month characters hyphen 2 date character. So it is just going to verify, validate whether the given input matches with this or doesn't match with this. Okay, so it is just going to do this date formatting for only this format to keep it simple. So that is going to be your problem number 3. In your lab problem, I have given the lab documentation. Please verify it. Okay, so now we are going to, as usual, import the regular expression. So let's create a regular expression for this. So you can do it in multiple ways, but I want to keep it simple. This time, I just want you to know how that count happens. Through this exercise, you are getting to know how you can use that curly brace to check the count and how we can use that method to verify the date. So we know that this D, lowercase d means matches the decimal digit. And we know that the curly brace means it will count the number of repetition. We are going to use these two techniques now. So lowercase has D means digits. It is going to look for the digit. And that too, how many digits should be there in the date format? The year should have 4 year digits. So for that, we're going to say 4 inside the curly brace. That means it is going to check whether it has digits. That is the year. And then it should have hyphen, because it should have hyphen. With dot or other stuff, we are not validating it. So it should have the hyphen. So saying that hyphen. And then again digits. This time, for month means only 2 digits allowed. 0 is not bad. 0 should be that. If it is the first month, it should be like 0, 1, 0, 2 like that, because we are saying that here 2 digits. You can give some complex, sophisticated, complex regular expression to validate. Even with a single digit, it should be possible, but I want to keep it simple and give the restriction that it should have 2 decimal for month and 2 decimal for date. So very simple regular expression to validate the date. Okay. Comparing to your date input. So we are going to prompt the input from the user saying that enter a valid date that should be in the format year, 4 years, hyphen, month, hyphen, date. It should be in this format. We are just verifying whether it is in this format or not. And the result should be saved in the variable result variable. And then we are importing the RE library. And then from the RE library, we are importing the method called search method. And then the syntax is you have to pass the pattern, and then you have to pass the input. The input is in the date. And we are going to say if the result is pass. If not result means it is fail. If there is a result, then you're going to say given date format is valid. Else, we're going to say print not a valid date format. Very simple program. Very simple program with simple regular expression, but in real time, you can make it perfect by making this regular expression complex. But we are going to do one more exercise on that. So I want to keep it simple. So the regular expression, it is going to say whether it matches. So we are going to say 2000 year 01 month 01 date. So it says that given date format is valid. If I give 1989 2000, if I say first month and date is also 1, it says not a valid date because it expects 2 decimal character. That's what we have given here. That's why it says not a valid format. And also, if I give 8401, okay, even it will not validate the other special characters because we didn't specify that. If you say 1984 0110, it doesn't accept that because it is looking for that hyphen symbol. So it says not a valid date format. So this is a very simple regular expression to validate the date. So the next one, problem number 4, write the code to validate the phone number. The phone number should be one of these formats. This time we are going to validate all the special characters. So it should have either this or this. It should be any of that format. You can give, you can just split that decimal, 10 decimal in any way, in any possible way like this. But it should validate and it should say whether the phone number is valid or not. So in this problem number 4, we are validating those criteria. So I'm reading it again. We are going to verify the phone number. What and all we are going to verify? We're going to say whether it has 10 digits, and then we're going to say whether it has the special character or not. You should accept it like that. We are going to make it complex. So here, this is going to be a complex regular expression. So regular expression, library, and we are going to create the regular expression. Okay, so this time we are going to check multiple things. So first thing, it should have this format. Whatever it is, it should have 3 decimals. Maybe I will copy that format and paste it here.
We use the same that we did on the previous problem, but without the hyphens or periods.
No, it is complex. That we cannot use it in that same way because it is little bit complex. Yeah, the expression that we are going to write is going to validate multiple things.
Okay.
Oh, so to command the Jupyter notebook, I'm sorry, I did the HTML command. I'm just commenting it. Okay, so we are going to validate these things. So first thing, we're going to check the first character. See, this symbol is allowed, right? This symbol is allowed. So starting of the number, this symbol should be allowed. This is not this symbol. This symbol should be allowed. And even sometimes this can be, for that we are giving the escape character, only this symbol, because if you would not give the escape character, there is another meaning for the parenthesis. What is the another meaning of the parenthesis? Check for string, create a store variable. So we don't mean that here. We mean the literal parenthesis. So to say that we are giving that escape character, that means we don't mean that parenthesis meaning. We mean the literal open bracket, because we are going to validate this thing here. Okay, that is the meaning of this. And then we are going to do only one time, because it should not be multiple times. If you have multiple parentheses, opening parentheses, that is not allowed. So to say that we are giving this quotation mark, what is the meaning of this quotation mark? Recall. The meaning of this quotation mark is check for 0 or 1 occurrence. That means it does not have parentheses, open bracket is allowed, or it should have only one time. It should not be multiple times. To say that, we have to give this question mark, which is non-greedy approach. So for that, we are giving the question mark. That means only one parenthesis allowed, or no parenthesis is also okay. And then digit, we are going to look for digit. The phone number should not have the lowercase or uppercase alphabetical character. It should have only digit. And then that too, the digits should be in this format, 3. Only 3 numbers. 3 numbers means, see, look at this. 3, 3, 3, 3. We are just splitting it into 3. That is the meaning. And then we are going to give this parenthesis check. That means we are going to check the character. After 3, either it can have space, or either it can have closing bracket, or either it can have hyphen or dot. These 4 characters are allowed here. To say that Closing bracket. First thing, the closing bracket is allowed. We don't mean the parenthesis here. We mean the closing bracket. So to say that, escape character and the closing bracket. And then escape character hyphen. And then escape character dot. That means we meant those characters literally. Because the dot means multiple things. Dot means check for in the ending line. Similarly, escape character, like that, each character has multiple meaning. But here in this phrase, we literally mean the same thing. Because dot, we don't mean that any character, we mean dot. That is why we give here. And then that too, only one time. Only one time. So to say only one time, you have to give question mark. You have to give question mark. And spaces are also allowed. I forgot about that. How can we say white space is allowed? We know escape character, uppercase yes means white space. Verify. Non-white space. No, sorry, white space, small yes. Small yes. White space means small yes. So I'm giving small yes here. White space is allowed. Because see, here there is white space. And then that to white space is also multiple white space is not allowed. Only one white space is allowed. Or else you can give the white space here inside the parenthesis. That also will work. But I'm just, since we did it before, I'm doing it in this way. And after that, what we are giving, the 3 more characters here. How to say the 3 more characters after that? For that, 0 to 9, 0 to 9, and 3 format, right? So 3 times 3 characters are allowed. So again, we are saying that with the curly brace means counting. It will take care of the counting. So we are saying 3 more characters are allowed. And after that, if it is dot, only 1 dot is allowed. Because look at this. 1 dot is allowed. Characters allowed. After that, 3 plus 3, 4, 6. And then last digits are 4. So how to say that?
What about the
Hyphen,
hyphen?
we have included it here.
But that was only the first 3, right?
The first 3. But we have to give, let's check it, and then we'll come and verify it again. This is not for the first 3. After this, it means after this, not first. We are saying that after this closing brace, that is the meaning.
Okay.
After this. If it doesn't work, we will correct it again. So 0 to 9, the number, and 4 times 4 times. 4 digits, 4 times. And after that, we don't want to see anything. So don't do pattern matching after that. That is the meaning of the dollar symbol. End of the pattern matching. End of the pattern matching. So this is little bit complex regular expression that we have designed to see the format. The phone number should have 3 digit, 4 digit with the special characters that is given in the list that we have given in the second, this parenthesis. So let's see whether it is validating the input against this. Okay, now we're going to say the phone number for the prompting input. Enter a valid phone number. Enter a valid phone number. That is the prompt. And as usual, we are saving the result regular dot re dot search and regex phone. Okay. Now, by this time, you should be familiar with the syntax, re.search and the pattern and the input. We are matching it. And also by this time, you should be familiar with this also. Printing it out. Print For entered phone number is valid. Yes. Print entered phone number is not valid. I'm going to give a number 900 900 equal to 000 equal to 1000. So it says it is not valid because that equal to symbol is not allowed. Okay. And I'm going to give 900 hyphen 001 hyphen 100. So it says the phone number is valid because that entered character is allowed inside this parenthesis. So it checks both, so it works.
Alright.
So that is for phone number validation. So this expression is a very good example for you to understand how we can do the formatting with the number of decimal positions, number of characters, all those stuff. You can validate it with this thing. So, but the thing is like if you miss any of it, it will not work. So the fifth problem we're going to see, we are going to verify all of you can find mbox.txt file. Okay. So in the file, you can see the mbox.txt file. Just download it and keep it in the folder. We are going to go through that file, and we are going to there are a lot of things in that file. We are going to just, what to say, filter out the URL only. Okay. So the URL, you know how the URL format should be. The URL should be in this format. Where is the URL? If you go through the file, the URL should be like here, this one. So we are going to see whether if it finds something like this in the file, then it is going to retrieve it and say that is the URL. Okay. So how to deal with that? Please download that file and have it in your mbox sort file. Please download it. So here we are not getting the input from the user. We are actually passing the file that we already have. Okay. But anyway, to hold that email address, sorry, URL address. URL. To hold that URL address, we need to have a list variable. It is always recommended to hold this kind of, to do this kind of validation with the file, we have to create the result in the list. So we are creating empty list. And we are going to create a file handler where we are going to open the file. What is the file name? File name is mbox hyphen short dot txt. This is the file. For line in hand file handler, we're going to go through each and every. This is a very big file. This text file is very big. We're going to go through that each and every line and going to find whether it has a URL format. See, there are URL formats here. So if it sees any of this URL format, it is going to retrieve it and display it. That is our goal. So we're going to read the line by line. We're going to read it. So first line, temporarily, we are creating a temporary variable where we want to remove that right strip. That is the end of the line space. We can remove it, or strip function. And then we are going to save the results, the temporary result, where in this case, search will not work. We have to use find all method to this because it is going to repeat the search throughout the file. So instead of search method, we are using the find all method. What we are going to find? Digits. To say the digits, say Instead of having it as a separate. So far we have done the regular expression separately. We can do that too, or we can just give the regular expression inside as a first parameter. Since we have done these things before, I just want to give you one practice where you can simply pass the regular expression directly. So here you are saying, going to say 1 or 3, 1 or 3. Even sometimes they will have one digit. So 1 to 3. That is allowed. And dot, I mean literally dot, not the any character. I meant the literal dot. For that, always when you say the literally dot thing, escape character dot. And then again, you're going to say any decimal digit, and that too 1 to 3. So why I say 1 to 3? The reason is, see, look at this. Here there is only one digit, only one digit, only one digit. That is also URL address. That's why I give 1 to 3. And again, literally dot. And then again decimal 1 to 3. Again literal dot. URL has, look at this, URL has how many sections? 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. So we have to give one more. Literal dot and then decimal digit 1 to 3. So all URL address should have four 6 cents with the dot, separated by dot. And then we are doing that for each and every line. Do that formatting for each and every line. So the second parameter is the line. So if length of the results, if there is more than one result like that, if you recall, we have done it with the list. We remember the result one, we are appending it for the with the list. We have done this for result, in results, for result, in results, temporary variable, and then we are appending it. If result not in URL. If it is already there, we are not including it, verifying whether it is already there or not. If it is already there, it will be added to the URL. If it is not there, then it will not be added. Okay. So here you are saying URL dot append what? Result. So this thing, we have done many of this exercise in list module like this. Okay, so you should be able to follow. Next one, for URL, in URL, it's a temporary variable. URL to differentiate it, I'm saying that URL address in URL list, print URL address one by one. So you can see, if you have the file in the folder, it will go through the file, read one by one, and then remove the empty space after the line and check for the regular expression, where the pattern we are checking with 4 sections with the digits 1 or 3 with dot, and then we are reading the line by line, and then we are creating a list formatting where if it is already there, we don't need to, because if it is, we don't want to list more than one URL and repetition. We don't want the repetition. So we are checking whether the URL is there already. Then if it is there, we are not including it. If it is not there, then we are including it. This is a list operation that we have done many times before. And using the append, we are adding it to the list, and then we are just displaying it inside this URL. So this is the result. So you have to take a screenshot of this or save it as a PDF, or you need to have 5 screenshots. one screenshot with the result for problem 1, 2 with the result, 3 with the result, 4 with the result, 5 with the result. I need 5 screenshot and also the previous lecture material.